I want to show you today how you can build a strong future pipeline using SAM.gov AWARDS. You heard that right. We're not going to be searching for active opportunities. We're going to be looking at awards. Now, you might tell me I'm not interested in knowing who won what for how much and what the Air Force is spending money on. That's fair. My thesis, and this has been applied by a lot of businesses, and every business I work with, they apply this. If you want to win at federal government contracting, you can be reactive. You can be starting from solicitations and hoping that you're going to win. If you're doing a good job, you're responding back to sources sought or requests for information, and even better, you should be tracking awards. Awards are a valid and the best way to verify that the agency has budget to spend on what you are selling. The second thing is you can position early so you could see, okay, I have this aircraft maintenance contract that's expiring in 2027. You have time to develop business. You have time to get in touch with the government contracting agency. So before you tell me why would I be tracking awards, it is actually super important. Again, in the competitive world of federal procurement, knowledge is leverage, and monitoring awards gives you business development. As a business developer, gives you opportunity and gets you that intelligence that you need to pursue the right opportunities at the right time. You're not being reactive. What do you actually win by doing that is you identify recompete windows. Most federal contracts run 3 to 5 years. And then tracking award dates lets you anticipate recompetes. So when something is expiring, they have to compete it again. Think about office supplies. The government has a contract for 5 years for a company to provide them office supplies. After 5 years, they'll still need office supplies. So we want to position our pipeline months in advance, not days before the solicitation. Then 2, we want to understand the competitive landscape. Who is the incumbent? Who won this contract? The NAICS codes behind it, the contract vehicle, GSA, etc. And this intelligence shapes your teaming strategy and proposal positioning because you know who the incumbent is, you know what could be their strong points, and now you could kind of hit on those and try and position yourself as the incumbent competitor. Third is you can qualify the opportunity by value. The pricing portion kind of vanishes because you know how much it was awarded in the past. Obviously, 5 years, sometimes a lot of time. You can account for inflation. Can account for things that changed within that time, but it kind of gives you an idea of how much within range you should be expected to be awarded, and then you could also find teaming partners. Awarded contracts reveal which firms are winning in your target space. So if you're not ready to go after a contract by yourself, you could potentially position yourself to go after these prime contractors and subcontract to build a winning teaming arrangement for the both of you. So there's so many things that valuable information that we can get by looking at awarded data. So hopefully I made the case for why we need to look at awarded data. Now, how do we do it? Luckily, in 2026, this year, the government moved from FPDS, which was the old website for contract data, to SAM.gov, which is good. So what I want you to do is the first step is to go to SAM.gov, and then before you click on search, key point, I want you to sign in. As you can see here, I signed in. If you don't have an account, you can just make one. It's free. Super straightforward, sign in and sign up. First thing is you need to make sure that you're signed in. Then after that, we want to go and click on search. Now within search, you have to click on contracting. And then here, instead of clicking on contract opportunities, which are active government contracting opportunities, we want to look at contract awards. So let's click on that. And then you see here, there are no results yet. Let's filter down by what we want to go after. And here's the key things that you need to think about. And it's super important to get this right. First, if you are targeting a specific organization, let's say you are in aviation, obviously you're going to be working with the Air Force. It makes a lot of sense to go and filter here for the Air Force. That is your target customer. Again, the whole government is not your target customer. You have to identify which specific federal sub-agency or federal organization buys what I saw. So that is number one. If you want to filter by federal organization, all you have to do is just choose contracting and click on that. Second is we want to go and click on socioeconomic status. If you have any sort of a set aside, 8A, hub zone, women-owned business, service disabled owned veteran owned business, you have to utilize these. So what I'm going to be going after is just small business in this case. I'll just click on I'm just going to say women-owned small business. That's the socioeconomic status that I have. On top of that, I want to filter specifically for the product or service I sell. In my case, in this case, we're selling to the Department of Air Force as a women-owned small business. What I sell is aviation parts. And for that, the NAICS code is 33641. That's for aerospace products and manufacturing. I will choose one maybe specific, let's say aircraft manufacturing. And then you could obviously select the product and service code if you want. Place of performance, in my case, is not important, so I'm not going to go over that. But then what's important, and this is a key important aspect, is the date signed. Here, you're going to just see a drop down for when this was signed. I want you to click on custom date, and then we're going to select the range. Now, the range has to be ideally what we want. Since most of the contracts go in 3 or 5 year cycles, what we want to go for is things that happened 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm going to go back to 2021 and potentially choose between January in 2021 and go back January 2021. And then I want 2021 December end of year. So right now I'm filtering for contracts that were signed between 2021 of January and December, so the whole year. Now beyond that, which is important, is you select the dollar threshold. So if you you go after contracts that are under $1 million, you choose that. If it's between the 1 and 25, you do that. You could specify the range yourself. But for simplicity, we're just going to go after the ones that are 1 to 25, which in the aircraft space is pretty much non-existent. So let's expand more. And then for competition, we want this to be fully competed. So we want it to be full and open competition. That means it was publicly competed. And it's not something that was just a sole source that was awarded to a company. Now with this, each one of these is a contracting opportunity for me that's going to come up. Now I'm going to view some of these results, and let's look into this one. For example, we click on the contract ID. And then here we can see the company that won this. We can see here how much it was awarded this contract for. We can see it was awarded for $7.7 million. And then we could see that it was originally signed in 2020. It was started in 2020 and it expires in 2027. So this is a great opportunity for me because it's business that I could pursue in September of 2027. And now is my time to develop this business. Here I can see more information exactly about what the award was, and I get more information about the company that won this. We will get back to this because we can utilize their UEI to get more information about this company. But beyond this, this is important information that we can, sometimes they provide here information about how this was competed, whether it was a full and open competition or not. And then we could see here the product and service. And then we could see here that this one actually was not competed, and it was only one source. So that means this is not a good recompete opportunity that we can go after because likely they have a huge bias towards the incumbent. I pulled this different from our filters. So if you choose in your filter full and open competition, you shouldn't have to see opportunities that look something like this. Specifically here, this one, it only received one offer and it was not competed and only one source. So this is not a good recompete opportunity. But if this was 5 offers, received multiple 5 offers, was full and open competition, and this company competed to win it, then that's good. Now, that's how we kind of navigate this. If we want to search more and get information about, let's say, a company that won this, we can go back here, click on all domains, click on entity information, and you can put in the UEI for that specific company. So if you know the UEI for the company, you put it in, you get more information on their more information about their contact information, their website, potentially a contact person for that. So this would come in handy when we are trying to find teaming partners. If we think we are aligned or we could provide strategic advantage to that company, it would be very relevant. Now, why is this essential, even not on teaming partners? Because we can then tie this back to the contracting search. When we're doing contract opportunity search and we're doing here our filters, we could actually cross-reference it. We could see that this contract expired and now it's being competed again. You see this over and over again. Do this exercise for yourself and you will find a lot of data points that support this. Now, this might be a lot of work, and it is, and it's complicated, and you might tell me, what do I do with that information? Because if we look here, if we look at this contract, I only see, okay, this is the department that awarded this contract, and here are some information about it, but there's no actionable items. Like there is no details about who should I contact on the government side, who is this approved by, this company that won it, what do I know about them, if this was competed, okay, there has to be more to this for me to make it an actionable business development opportunity. For that, you need to utilize intelligent systems and platforms like SamSearch. SamSearch has an embedded recompete search that allows you to find these contacts. Same exact niche, and we're just doing aircraft. I'm going to try. And then if you go in here, there are all these filters. You can filter by the agency, the sub-agency, the set aside, the contract value, whatever things that are relevant for you. But if you want to only go after things that are full and open competition, and then let's say we want them to have the original linked SAM opportunity, and then if we want to work specifically with the Air Force, then we would be able to see all this information and more. So a summary about this exact recompete opportunity, how much it was awarded for, how many offers it got, the company that got it, I can click here on them and get more information about that company. So their federal awards, their subcontracting awards, which specific agencies and sub-agencies they work with. I can get also more information about the opportunity timeline, when this was with sources sought, when it was an award notice, the contact information for the contracting officer, and also most importantly, I can see the attachments for when this was last solicited. So it's actually an opportunity, like a full-on opportunity that I can utilize. And then I can also see here the buying pattern of the agency. So this agency buys this over and over again. There's a lot of competition, and in 25% of the times, they actually change the incumbent. I could also see when this is going to expire. This expires in 2027 around June. So I can, with all of this information, I can actually reach out to the contracting officer, ask more specifically about this contract. I have all the details of the attachments, as you can see here. So I can just view these and view the solicitation documents, for example, and get all the information I need to really have a strong outreach campaign to the contracting officer and position myself then to take on the incumbent, because this is going to be released again. And when this is going to be released again, I'm going to be positioned to actually win it because I've did my due diligence and my business development and started early. So it's super important whether you want to do this the kind of free way through SAM.gov, or you want to use like an intelligent system to pull that recompete opportunities. I highly recommend you do this. It will change how you're positioned in the government contracting space. We've talked to billion-dollar companies and small businesses and government contracting consultants. They all do this to develop business for themselves, because where you look is where the money is being spent and you go back. That's how it works, and that's how you should position yourself. If you would like to get on a call with me or one of my team members and walk through what kind of recompete opportunities we'd be able to pull specifically for your business and how we could build a strong government contracting pipeline, millions, in the next 12 to 24 months, you'll find a link to schedule a demo. Make sure to click on that link and get on a call with us. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.